friends, it's Rana, and today I'll be telling you about all the books that I'm planning to read in the month of October and the books that I'm gonna pull from my TBR jar. I did alright reading the books that I pulled from my TBR jar for the month of September. Out of the 4 books that I pulled, I finished reading 2 books, The Selected Poems of William Blake and At-Taihun by Amin Ma'louf. I am halfway through House of Leaves and I'm gonna finish it in this month in October. And the 4th book, A Tale of Two Cities, I failed reading it. I didn't read it, unfortunately. That's why I returned it to the TBR jar to be pulled again in the future. Before I pull 4 new picks from my TBR jar, I'm gonna tell you what I'm planning to read beside them. The 2 books that I'm planning to read that aren't on my bookshelves are The Unseen World and The City We Became. I'm gonna read these 2 books as a preparation for my next Do We Match video. Can you guess which booktuber has these books in their favorite list? Now I'll pull the first pick, but let me first shuffle them real quick because it is really hard to shuffle them inside the cup. I'm gonna pull them out, shuffle them, and return them to the cup. Okay, I shuffled them and let's pick the first one. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. The first book is Insomnia by Stephen King. Isn't it funny that last year I spent October reading only Stephen King's books and now the first pull is a Stephen King? I don't know much about this book. It is 760 pages. It is very, very long. Let's read what it is about because I don't know. You will lose a lot of sleep. Raph does. At first he starts waking up earlier and earlier, then the hallucinations start. The colors, shapes, and strange auras. Not to mention the bald doctors who always turn up at the scene of a death. That's when Raph begins to lose a lot more than sleep. When he begins to understand why his hitherto mild-mannered friend Ed is getting out of control, dangerously so, and why his hometown is about to become the new Armageddon. I don't know what is that. An evil of unimaginable proportions has found a way in, and Raph has only one chance to beat it. The stakes are high. They always are when you are playing for human souls. With the Joker in the pack, a bold one with a rusty scalpel. Okay, that's the first book that I am supposed to read in the month of October. A great pick by the king of horror himself. Let's pick another one. I'm gonna choose this one. Okay. Let's see what it is. Dumb Witness by Agatha Christie. It seems like I'm pulling all the second-hand books I own. I don't know this one what is about, but it is by Agatha Christie. The synopsis says, everyone blamed Emily's accident on a rubber ball left on the stairs by her frisky terrier. But the more she thought about her fault, the more convinced she became that one of her relatives was trying to kill her. Okay. On April 17th, she wrote her suspicions in a letter to Hercule Poirot. Mysteriously, he didn't receive the letter until June 28th, by which time Emily was already dead. Okay, that sounds intriguing. I'm here for it. I'm liking the vibes of these books for the month of October so far. Now let's pick the next one. I'm gonna pick, let's see this one. Oops. This one is The Green Mile by Stephen King. It seems like it is the month of October again. I didn't plan to read Stephen King for the entire month like last year, but it seems like it's gonna happen. I don't have the entire Green Mile book, but I have the first part, Two Dead Girls. I'm gonna read the Two Dead Girls and continue the rest of the Green Mile on ebook. The synopsis says, they were sisters and the picture-perfect image of innocence. No one understood their brutal deaths, not even the man who killed them. But John Coffey is about to gain a new insight about his life in prison and about the one man who will walk him down that green mile toward destiny. Okay, I know absolutely nothing about this book except that it has a movie, which I will watch after I finish reading it. And now for the 4th and last pull, I'm gonna pull this one. The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. The Tattooist of Auschwitz is also a second-hand copy I recently bought. I don't know anything about it except that it is a romance in Second World War between a tattooist and a prisoner, a Jewish prisoner. In 1942, Leil Sokolov arrived in Auschwitz-Birkenau. He was given the job of tattooing the prisoners marked for survival, scratching numbers into his fellow victims' arms in indelible ink to create what would become one of the most potent symbols of the Holocaust. Waiting in line to be tattooed, terrified and shaking, was a young girl. For Leil, a dandy, a Jack the Lad, a bit of a chancer, it was love at first sight. And he was determined not only to survive himself, but to ensure this woman, Gita, did too. So begins one of the most life-affirming, courageous, unforgettable, and human stories of the Holocaust, the love story of the tattooist of Auschwitz. As I said, a love story in the Second World War. So these are the 4 books that I'm gonna read in the month of October, as well as finish reading The House of Leaves and reading It's The City We Became and The Unseen World. In total, I have 7 books on my list. I may read more than that or less than that. I don't know what will happen with me in the month of October, but hopefully I'll be reading all of them. So that's it for today's TBR video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to see my future videos and I will see you next time. Bye!